What is up? What is up, YouTube? This is Dre Trades, and the title is Markets Going Higher, even though it's tanking right now. It's funny because I actually was creating the title and stuff for this video when just before this little dip happened, and I'm like, so I had to pause the video. I had to pause me pressing the start button. Hold on, man. I gotta see if I'm live. Yeah, I had to pause me pressing the start button because I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So I'm pulling up the news. I turned on my CNBC, and then then I found it. I'm like, oh, okay. So Trump is saying he's going to what is he? Trump says China did not stop sales of fentanyl to U.S. And where's it? He said he's going to increase the tariffs. This is not the news I was just reading just a minute ago. Where the hell? Oh, this is here we go. Yeah, on September 1st. Okay, they changed it. They changed the headline there. Anyway, it says, what does this say? Trump trade talks are continuing, and during the talks, the U.S. will start on September 1st, putting a small additional tariff on 10% of the rest of the remaining $300 billion coming to $3 billion of goods and products coming from China into our country. So there you have it, and here is the reaction from that. And now that I see this happening, I would have changed the whole title. I was like, oh, I got to change the title because I actually think this trend is actually going to stay. This market has just been is volatile. I mean, it is catching everyone off guard, and generally when that happens, I think people's just gonna say, you know what, let me out. It basically says the China deals. You remember they was going to China, I think last Monday to talk over some deal. By him saying that, putting the threat on the table before and giving them what is that, about 4 weeks. It just tells you the deal that they was currently working out ain't going well. So it just puts uncertainty now into the markets, and I think the Fed knew this yesterday going into today. They talk. They in government. Hey man, I'm gonna go ahead and raise the tariffs about 10%. All right. Even though we at record highs, I'm gonna go ahead and reduce the interest rates, and maybe that's what where it's coming from. But so before this little bit of news, it's funny how it's coming out. So before this bit of news, I was like, yeah, market's going high. I did a video yesterday and talking about the rate cut. And I was like, man, it's just, it's going higher. This is all just noise, fake out, and yeah, I was right. I was right for about 3 hours. and basically what the market was up, oh shit, the market was up 250 points as I was creating my little logo and stuff, the headline. Now we're down 73 points. So that was a 300 point turnaround. So I'm trying to read the news. I bought puts for my portfolio. I was thinking about buying some puts, but I wanted to wait a little bit because the market was just ripping, man. I was like, that's kind of the time. That's the time. But, I just figure I'd give it a day. Look at that. Look at the turn. Look at the ticks. Damn it. Is this the beginning of the day? Let me get the whole day up in here. Yeah. Look how the ticks. Here's the zero line. Let me draw the zero line so you can see what's going on. And this is what I was kind of eyeing right in there, and I was like, man, it's not even down ticking. I mean, everything is positive. And then just look, boom, 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 boom. When you look at the minute, now that we drew that, you can see how hard they are hitting it down. This is like super bearish, when it's just generally when the ticks trade plus or minus 1,000, you can go ahead and put a trade on the opposite direction, and it's damn near, it's money in the bank. It's money in the bank. But when you see this, it is not money in the bank. Okay, it's just they are hitting it hard, and I think it sucked everybody in. It's been crazy. The base thing you should have did since the earnings was sit on your hands. Now I had a big position in IWM, and I totally gave it up. And I wonder if it was a precursor because the market was up basically damn near 1%. All right. So, and I'm looking at the IWM. This is probably getting, just tanking there. and it was only up like 0.4%. And I'm like, why? What's up with the weakness in the small caps? Because generally, the last couple of days, if you notice, it's been ripping. You know, it's been beating the large cap stocks, and it was just weak today. You know, so before this dip right here, it was only up like 0.4. You know, and let me see if I can pull up the SPY. It's gonna be an ugly day. It's gonna be ugly. I'm telling you right now. What is we down 100? So we already down 300 points. And when did this start? Damn. Shoot, I can't see my 127, 37, 40, basically 18 minutes, 300 points. So here's the SPY, and I'm like, well, damn, the spider's almost up 1%. I think Qs were damn near 1%. So I just was like, you know what? I sold them all. That's what I did. I'm trying to think, what the hell? So I got out of those positions, and I guess that was a good thing. And that's the first time I call it top ticking something, because I did that right around here. I was just like, this sucks. This little bounce back, I was like, this is where I got out, in that little range. Well, all right, I'll bring up the IWM. Shoot. Yeah, you see how you saw the spiders, how it was going up, and then IWM. So right in here is when I got out. And good thing I did. Look at this, man. It's even hard to get out a position when it's doing this, because volatility is spiking hard. And, you know, you almost got to damn near do market orders. You got to definitely trade at the natural. I went out. And then as soon as you do that, it's already, nobody wants that price anymore. And you got to keep getting in there and editing, and, you know, so ugly. VIX up 0.75. It was down 2. And I was like, wow, the VIX is getting crushed. You know, it's getting crushed. And so I was just like, yeah, the market, all worries to bed, you know. Yeah, I was like, oh, this is it. We're going to go up for a while. And then I was thinking about buying some puts, but, you know, I don't know. It's going to be tough to call. Overall, in general, let me pull up the Qs. It's just a toppy market. You know, I don't really think it has to do anything with any of this thing going on. Just look at the market, you know, here in general. Look at all my lines. Let's get rid of every single one of them. Clear. Look at that. You know, so it's just toppy. You know, it's just toppy right there. Look at last month, okay, right? It's like, I forget what they call that. Damn it, I'm not good at my symbols. Well, I just know that's bearish. And look at the start of this month. So it looks like we could just go down. Who knows, you know? And that's why I think we're going down. Yeah, it was news related to got it going that way, but it was going to be something. It was going to be something to bring us down there. I'm telling you. So that's what it is. Anyway, if you watched a video before this video, I just did a particular video on Square. I won't necessarily repeat it. They have earnings coming out, and I just saw some red flags, which was a double top here. Also, lots of. Do I still got that chart up? No. Lots of insider selling, you know, since the last year. Nobody's buying an inside, and the put call ratio was too many calls. Everybody's in the calls. Everybody's thinking this thing is going up. That means it's going down. So just be careful if you're trading this thing, especially now that we got this negative sentiment hanging over the market. You know, it's bad timing for Square. Even if it were to be and it were to pop, the pop would be small because it's just bad. I remember when I used to trade Apple earnings all the time. And every time I would get it right, and I was like, oh, yeah, I got the call. You know, I had the perfect position on for the move, and it was always some kind of world event going on, and the pop would be like 1% every single time, if that. You know, I was like, oh, why did this got to be going on now? The day you bet and say long for earnings, and it was great earnings, like let's say Google, you want it to be an up market. You want everything to be strong and flat, so it just blows out of the gate. But if you have great earnings and such is playing with nuclear weapons over there, or shot one of our tankers, our aircraft carriers down or something like that and it's sinking, you don't want to be long the stock. It doesn't even matter what they report. And that was always me. It was always some big political type event going on or whatever. So maybe look like we might, oh, I'm looking at Square. It's just not going to go straight down. So maybe we get this bounce and it might not be too late for you to protect yourself. Do we bounce all the way back up to 250? I don't think so. I mean, that is the moves from yesterday till today. I don't know if it could. I mean, look at these two moves. That's ugly right there. That's ugly. You can't tell me the market's going higher when you have that, okay? Yeah, you can't tell me. Let's get rid of this side little piece. When you have this, you can't tell me it's going high, even though that's a perfect double bottom right there. I don't know. But there's your low. So maybe let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. It is a double bottom, but the volatility, that's insane. That's not the sign of that we go up hundreds of points. You know what I mean? When you seeing that kind of wave, it's kind of like, I always like to put it, when you throw a rock into a lake, right? You get those ripples go in, right? It takes time for it to smooth out again. Basically, you just disturbed it. Now it's, you just ruined it. Let's put it that way. It's not optimal. You won't be able to see your reflection. So, yeah, I mean, everything was nice and steady. We at the very top of the market. I showed you that chart, and look at the stochastics is getting ready to wanting to roll over and crossed over right there. So this might just be a good time to go short. So my title is actually the opposite, but I was just talking about today. I wasn't talking about going higher and staying higher. Today, I was like, man, buy tomorrow. It's probably a buying opportunity, but shoot, man, I didn't think it was only going to last a half a day. I ain't going to lie about that. So I was thinking like today, tomorrow, next day, we go up, kind of hover up a little bit like the market was doing today. And then maybe something else happens. But damn, I mean, shoot, interest rates was only up for about 23 hours and Trump's already fucking it up with the interest, messing up with the tariff increase. This is what started this is just what started everything, these tariffs. And I just don't know if we could win. I don't know if we could win. They've been holding out pretty good, but, you would figure because our economy is doing real good with the tariffs. Yep, with the tariffs. So he's just like, we could keep putting it on, but eventually I think, we choke each other out. Maybe the market. Somebody's not surviving somewhere. I don't know if it's banks. I don't know what it is, but I think it's going to catch up. You can't just keep doing this. That's why we didn't do it. It was free trade, right? So if you keep doing this, I don't know what it is, but something's going to come up, and hopefully it's not contagion. We're going to find out, such and such, and then everybody's trying to sell and get out. Anyway, but yeah, look at it. It's just stopping. This is always scary. This is not like, it's just stopping. It's not bouncing, and so it's just holding on, and then it'll just drop again. Probably, we're getting ready to go into the weekend as well. Going to the weekend, I mean, the Fed said he's damn near one and done. Now you need to come back on and say, maybe we will start a rate cycle, a lower rate cycle or whatever it's called. Here we go. It's getting ready to break right now. Like I said, see, when it's just holding, when you don't get a bounce, it's just like taking a breather. You know how you like run real fast, say you're trying to get from point A to B, and you stop because you can't do it. You can't run. You're like, you're not really walking back or running back. You're just kind of staying right there, maybe, and then as soon as you get your energy again, you start running. That's what this is doing. So it's just not good. Not good at all, man. Look at that. I'm live when all of this shit is going down. So protect your. I'm afraid to look at my portfolio. See up here, I got it right here. The whole asterisk, so you can't see it. I'm dying to end this video so I can see what the hell's going on with my portfolio. I bought some puts, but not enough. And most of my positions are iron condors, but it looks like it's trying to test that short side. It's funny because just the day before yesterday, no, the day they raised the earnings, so I got my condors on. I brought up the put sides. I brought them up because the call sides were damn near getting tested, and I knew I should have waited. I should have waited, but I brought them up, so now the put side's closer and it's going away from the call side. So hopefully I can get out even, I don't know. One popped off today, one trade. So I was in Goldman Sachs was one of them. Where we at? 213. See, I went from the 205 to 195, brought it up to the 215 to 205. Now I'm in the money on the downside. So it's just ridiculous. I should have just waited. I mean, it was up 220, 220, kept going up, 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 up. And yeah, I'm being violated right now. So now I got to probably bring the call side down or just get out of the trade. You can't trade condors with this kind of volatility. It's just, it will test one of your sides like that. Look at it. Like that. Just, where was it? Look at right here. I mean, just yesterday, what is this, 7:31? Just yesterday at 11:20, it was trading 221. Now it's 213. Just yesterday. Just over 24 hours. That is a 3.9, basically a 4% move. So it's probably, I'm sure it is a buying opportunity. I mean, there's a lot. If the market comes down, I think a lot of this stuff is going to be a buying opportunity. This is definitely a buy to dip kind of market. Okay, so don't get me wrong. Look at the volume right there. Just look at the selling and the volume. It's like nothing going on. This is why I like looking at minute charts, because when a stock is going up, this is my little tip on minute charts. You could see the buying coming in if you're on a minute, and let's say, I don't want to count that downdraft there. Say this is the minute, you could see some green spikes going. You could see the buying coming in, how people's just slowly buying it. And then usually towards the end of the day, it just starts popping that way. It's almost like you could see some of the selling in here, right? And I'll kind of look at it to see if it goes above the average. I can't really move that up. That's one of my little tidbits that I kind of like to look at if I'm looking to see if I want to get into something. See, like right here. See this buying right here? What time was this? 10:57:11, right? So the market opened clear back here, right? And of course you got all that buying and selling in the beginning of the day. Then it settles down, and then look, poof, 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 right? You see it. So people wanting to get in, okay? That's somebody getting in my opinion. And this is when you see that, when you start to see that being sporadic, that's when you kind of want to get in. But it stopped. Generally, you'll see a couple more, but it stopped. And look, it's going down. Now you see some peaks of the reds. And yeah, if you follow those little trends, those are hints to where the market is going to go. That's what I find out. And I always find that on the minute charts because it's easier to catch that spike, and just kind of check that out. Yeah, go do some back testing on that theory, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're getting a little rebound here. I would hate it to go straight down. Hate it. So what's going up? Hey, Life Like Eyes in the building. I'm just now looking at my comments. So if you got any stock you want to pull up or you want to talk about the Fed, go ahead, bring it on. Bring it on. I'll just sit here and be live for a while. I wanted to, let me see something. What do we got here? Yeah, so comments go right there. Hit me up on Twitter, Dre Trades. And, I don't tweet much, but I'm starting to. But I definitely answer the tweets. So Dre Trades and then Dre Trades on Instagram as well. And, check out lot of the past videos. I've been incredibly right about a lot of things. But I can't, I'm having a hard time putting trades around my rightness. Does that make sense? I've been, I've been. It's funny because, like in the last video, I'm trying to say it right. In the last video, I said, yo, this is what's happened Square. I think Square is going down, okay? But I was like, I don't have a trade on because when I put money on, I'm wrong. But when I just have my, the reasons why I'm right, so I can always sit there and, I don't know. I don't know what's up with that, but I've been nailing a lot of trades recently with money in the position as well. But sometimes when you get hot, like when you're hot, I like to kind of keep going with it, and then when you're cold, I like to kind of cool off a little bit. So I've been cold on the last couple of earnings trades, and that was Amazon. I totally blew. Google, which I wanted to put a trade on, which I didn't. It went up, so I missed it. I consider that a loss. And Netflix, which I knew was going down, I didn't put money. So the one where I was wrong, I had money on. The ones where I was right, I didn't have money on. So I'm just kind of like chilling out, and maybe this will be the third one. But yeah, I think we this is August 1st. August and September is the worst months to trade. I would say the worst months to trade is the worst months for the stock market for gains. Okay, so be very careful. This is dangerous territory. We got tariffs. We got lowering interest rates, even though we're at all-time highs. We got overtaking tankers. We got what is that? Refineries just blowing up all over the place. So be careful. I don't know. Yeah, just be careful, man. Just kind of watch because it's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm trying to let me see if I can bring up the news. We got a little bounce right there, but I don't think it's gonna last long. Oh, I'm looking at Goldman Sachs. Yeah, we need you to get above 215. That's what we need you to do. Let's pull up the SPY. Yeah, this looks like just a bounce back. Look at that bounce, though. You would think, like I said, this is a penny stock or something. You would think the Fed came out with earnings today, right? You would think it came out with earnings just now. And just like yesterday. It's unbelievable. And damn near the same time. Look at that. Actually, when you see this, when I look at this, let me pull that back. What was that? Hour. When you look at that, that's generally like a bottom. And you can go back on, like, say, the 2008 bottoms. You get, what do they call the needle nose bottom? I think that's called. But you only could see it on, like, this 15-minute chart for the most part. Yeah, this is kind of like a needle nose bottom in a way. It's a little spaced out. I think they're supposed to be right close to each other. But so it's boom, boom. But I think if this low breaks, you see it was good support right there. Look out below. Look out below. And can we capture? Can we hold on? Right here. I don't know, man. This is, you think about it. It's funny because I've been a bear. I'm generally bullish, right? And I've been a lot of this uptrend right here. Not this one, I should say. I take that back. This one right here. I just been totally bearish. And when the market reached the all-time high, that's when I was like, hey, I got to get in. I'm wrong. And so I got in and I've been making the money. But look, we're about to break that all-time high before it broke here on that double top. So that was, let me see, 293.94. This one is 294.95. Yeah, we're about to break. Wait a minute, what's this one? 296.31. So we did break. No, I'll take that back. That's the high when it did break. So this was the all-time high. Came back. We broke through it, but we're about to kind of go right back down. Now, generally on a breakout, right? The stock will always break out and then come back and test that breakout point and then go up. So two scenarios can happen here. That's one of them. Okay, that's one of them where it just comes down, right? Comes up, breaks it, comes up, comes down, and then goes higher, right? Maybe that's going on right now. The other scenario is a false breakout, which is ugly, okay? Because anytime something that's supposed to happen doesn't happen, it goes hard the other way. So let's say it broke out of there, right? It broke out and, everybody's getting on board or whatever you think it's, and then no, it just fails. It just does this. Okay, so we need to be careful, I think, of this pattern right here. So I think if this breaks, maybe you can even get on now. And it just doesn't look good, man. Look at the VIX. VIX is at 17 now. Just the other day it was 12. It was 12. If it does this, this is ugly. I'm not saying. I didn't mark the low. I don't know what the low would be. But it just goes down and it keeps going down and it goes down hard. So we need to be very careful right now. This is critical. This is critical moments. And let's look at the Qs. You know why I bring up the Qs? Because the Qs is what brought us here. This is where I just bought puts on all. I trade 3 portfolios. I bought it on all my portfolios. And probably not enough of them. I wanted to see if I can get some kind of bounce, and I just might just put on a bearish portfolio just for the summer, just for the August and September, and kind of keep the condors going. But I'm telling you, condors is hard to trade with this kind of volatility. It's just too hard, so I almost feel you have to pick a direction. You can't just be neutral. You just can't be neutral and put on those neutral trades because it'll just take you out. So I want to see some sideways action. And if you look at this right here, you just see, basically I'm trying to look at where iron condors worked, and yeah, you might have got some off here, but here, ever since the October 1st, booms, because this is so sharp, right? I mean, your positions are getting tested if you iron condored in there, and then we come down here, and then we go up here, and if we continue to go down, look how sharp every single one of these moves are compared to this move, right? So that's nowhere near the angles I was just drawing, which would have been down here somewhere. So yeah, you might have been able to pull it off here, and you could pull some off here if they short term, but I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what, with this VIX going up. Damn. Let me pull up the VIX. Look at that, straight up. The VIX is up 8.8%. Look at the candle. That's the weekly candle. If it closes out tomorrow, that's huge. It's basically saying it's going to continue to go up. It's just going to keep going up. No, I don't know. Generally maybe up into the 30s, at least 20s, 30s, I don't know. 50s, But generally if it gets way up there, of course, you're basically looking at the end, right? I mean, volatility just doesn't stay that high for that long. It's a spike. But look at that, man. My United Healthcare, I got back in it, and look at it. Almost looks like it wants to break down and go lower. Advanced decline line, total collapse. At the low of the day. Look at that. Everything was looking good right there. I mean, damn. If you went to the bathroom and took a shit and came back to your screen, you're like, what the fuck? Huh? That's what you're like. Yeah, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Where are we at? Dow 185. Twitter. Chance that, I got back into Twitter. I took some of my positions off, but it's at 42.3. That's where I kind of got out at, and then I got in. I got right back in a little bit higher, but not as much. I still, just got in a little bit, but Twitter might be the move. And Twitter is it's almost my best stock of the year type chart. I'm really loving this chart right here. But I think once all of this volatility goes away, this is where you would want to get back into. That's it, man. I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Yeah, so my title was, "Hey, we're going up, I told ya." And now it's like, "No, we're going down. What are you talking about?" But yeah, this is just not looking good. Let's see how we end the day. Going into the weekend sucks. Tariffs, you know, just not good. There's really nothing to be bullish about. Oh, yeah, one more little test about earnings season. I'll give you all this little tip that I learned on my own. After FANG reports, or after the FANG, like Facebook, I'm telling you, I think Apple's always, I don't even know. But after the last FANG report, the market always seems to go down. All optimism is gone. Doesn't matter what they did. That's it. That's it. It's done. It's time to go short, After the FANG reports, there's no more upside. That's for earnings season is basically done. And it looks like it's almost trying to do the same thing now, so try to, you can get your list, try to make that, some of the good stocks that you want to buy and try to scoop them up. Because this will be, I think, a bounce or a bottom to be bought. Yeah, I think we're in the buy the dips kind of market still until it changes. But it's also that kind of market, I think, that we have to buy the dips. So I think it could turn to seller rips like in no time, All right, so thanks for watching. I appreciate you, man. Check out the Square earnings tonight. I think it's going to go down, even though I do like the way the chart looks in a way, but I think it's going to go down. And let's see if I'm right about that. All right, so thanks for watching. This is Dre. Hit me up on Dre Trades, Instagram, Twitter. This is Dre right here on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the bell. You know the deal. I go live every day, just about talk about stocks. I really like your input so I can talk about your stocks. That's fun because you give me ideas. Like Cashmatic gave me that Roku, Oh yeah, let me look up Beyond Meat real quick. Damn, Roku, falling out of bed. Beyond Meat comes out with a price. Gosh, they priced the secondary at 160. Look at it. Look at that churn. Maybe this is, yeah. To get a 174. Did it go to 160? No, 172. So I would actually say, we'll talk about this real quick. We knew today that they priced that secondary at 160. This is where it opened to 172. And basically, I think at the high of today, which is, what is that, 182? Yeah, it looks like 182, 183. It might even be safe to get back in the water, especially if you can make a new high. You know what I'm saying? So can we peak our head above this 206? That's a long way to go. But for Beyond Meat, no, it's not really. So can we get above yesterday's high? You know what I mean? Then that might be definitely a chance. But if you want to get in early, maybe somewhere around there. Because we knew about it. We knew at this point that the secondary is priced at 2. So if it goes higher than that, where we already know, it probably wants to go higher. That's just how it's like a marker, putting on a marker when an event happens. And if it trades down, once it gets above that marker, it's like, that's it, man. We forgot about that. Let's move on. So that's like one of my little things I'd like to do. All right, so thanks for watching. This is Dre Trades. I see you. Peace.